2. No excuses. Not one. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how busy you think you are. I don't care how unfair life has been. Excuses are not reasons. They are permission slips to stay weak. And you've signed too many of them. Every excuse you make is a contract with mediocrity. A silent agreement that says, I choose comfort over growth. I choose easy over evolution. I choose to remain exactly where I am. Break that contract right now, because the world doesn't care about your excuses. Results don't care about your excuses. And deep down, you don't respect yourself when you make them. So stop. No more explanations. No more justifications. No more lies. Rule 3. No negotiation with weakness. This is where most people fall. They bargain. They compromise. They say, I'll work, but only if I feel good. I'll push, but not too hard. I'll try, but I might quit. That's not discipline. That's weakness. Wearing a mask. You don't negotiate with weakness. You dominate it. When your mind says, rest, you ask, have I earned it? When your body says, stop, you ask, am I done? Or am I just uncomfortable? Because discomfort is not the enemy. It's the doorway. And every time you avoid it, you walk away from who you could become. So step into it. Stay in it. Own it. Rule 4. If it's hard, do it longer. Read that again. If it's hard, do it longer. Because that's where everyone else quits. That's where the weak fall away. That's where the excuses come back. That's where the old you starts begging for mercy. Good. Let it beg. And then ignore it. Because that moment, that exact moment, is where transformation begins. Not when it's easy, not when it's convenient, but when everything in you says stop, and you say no. Rule 5. If you feel like quitting, you're just getting started. You thought the urge to quit meant you reached your limit? No. It means you finally touched the edge of your comfort. And beyond that edge is where power lives. So when you feel like quitting, smile. Because now it begins. Now it gets real. Now you separate yourself from the version of you that always gave up. Push further. One more step. One more rep. One more hour. Then another. Then another. Until quitting is no longer an option. It's a memory. Rule 6. Do not trust your feelings. They lie. They tell you you're tired when you're just undisciplined. They tell you you need a break when you haven't even started. They tell you tomorrow will be better, even though you've wasted every yesterday. Failings are temporary. Weakness is repetitive. So stop obeying emotions and start obeying decisions. Make the decision and then follow it, no matter how you feel. Rule 7. Respect your time or watch it destroy you. Every second matters. Every minute counts. Every hour you waste is a piece of your life you will never see again. Tick, gone, tick, gone, tick, gone. You don't get refunds. You don't get extensions. You get consequences. So treat your time like it's bleeding. Because it is. And every distraction is another cut. Rule 8. Become obsessed. Become obsessed. Not interested. Not kind of committed. Obsessed. Because interest fades. Commitment bends, but obsession consumes. It takes over your thoughts. It controls your actions. It eliminates distractions without asking permission. And that's what you need, because average effort creates average lives. And you're done with average. Rule 9. Suffer on purpose. Yes, on purpose. Choose the harder path. Choose the longer route. Choose the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Because pain is not punishment. It's preparation. And every time you choose it, you become harder to break. Stronger to stop. Impossible to ignore. Rule 10. Finish what you start. No exceptions. You started it, you finish it. Even if it's boring, even if it's difficult, even if you hate it halfway through, because quitting creates a pattern, and patterns become identity. You are either someone who finishes or someone who doesn't. Choose. No more later. No more someday. No more lies. Say it again. No more later. No more someday. No more lies. This is your code now. Not flexible, not optional, not negotiable. You want to change? This is the price. Discipline over comfort. Action over excuses. Relentlessness over everything. Follow this, and you will become something dangerous, something unstoppable, something that does not hesitate, does not delay, does not break. Break the code, and you already know what happens. You go back to wasted time, back to empty promises, back to the version of you that never became anything. So choose. Right now, obey the code, or stay weak. There is no middle ground. There never was. This is where it becomes real. Not the speeches, not the ideas, not the fantasies you whisper to yourself at night. War, that's what this is. And war does not care how you feel. You think you need motivation. You think you need the right mood, the right energy, the perfect moment? No, that's the lie that kept you weak. Motivation is fragile. It rises and it dies. It visits and it disappears. And every time it leaves, you fall with it. That's not power. That's dependency. You've been waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel inspired, waiting to feel strong. And while you waited, your time was taken. Your opportunities were buried. Your potential was left to rot. So hear this clearly. Motivation is weak. Discipline is absolute. Discipline does not ask how you feel. Discipline does not care if you're tired. Discipline does not negotiate. It commands, and you obey. That's the difference. You want to become unstoppable, then you stop asking yourself, do I feel like it? And you start telling yourself, do it anyway. Because this is war. A war against your own mind. A war against your habits. A war against every soft decision you've ever made. And in war, there is no room for emotion. Picture a soldier, marching, step after step, through exhaustion, through pain, through doubt. Do you think he stops because he doesn't feel like it? No. He moves, because stopping is not an option, because hesitation is death, because discipline is the only thing standing between him and failure. Now look at yourself. You stop for comfort. You stop for distraction. You stop because it's too hard, and then you wonder why nothing changes. Because you're fighting a war, like it's a hobby. You treat your goals like they're optional, like there's something you can pick up and put down whenever it's convenient. War is not convenient. War is relentless. War demands everything. So if you want to win, you become something colder, something sharper, something that does not break under pressure. Fail nothing. Do everything. Say it again. Fail nothing. Do everything. When your body aches, move. When your mind resists, act. When your emotions scream stop, go harder. Because emotions are temporary. But discipline builds something permanent. You don't need to feel powerful. You need to act powerful. You don't need to feel motivated. You need to move without it. You don't need to feel ready. You need to begin, even when you're not. That's what separates the weak from the dangerous. The weak wait. The dangerous execute. Every day, without question, without hesitation, without emotion. This is your battlefield. Every distraction, an enemy. Every excuse, a weapon against you. Every moment of hesitation, a step toward defeat. So fight, not with passion, not with emotion, with discipline. Cold, precise, unstoppable. Because passion fades, emotion breaks, motivation disappears. But discipline remains. It stands when everything else falls. It moves when everything else stops. It wins when everything else gives up. So build it, feed it, become it, until there is no difference between who you are and what you do. Until action becomes automatic. Until effort becomes identity. Until quitting becomes impossible. Fail nothing. Do everything. And when you master that, there is nothing left that can stop you. Understand this before you go any further. Before you commit. Before you burn the old you. Before you step fully into this war. There is a price. And no one talks about it honestly. Not the videos. Not the speeches. Not the ones pretending this path is glorious every second. It's not. It gets quiet. Very quiet. Because growth separates you. It pulls you away from everything that once felt normal. Everything that once felt safe. Everything that once made you feel included. And suddenly, you're alone. Not because you failed, but because you changed. They will notice it. Oh, they will notice. The way you stop wasting time. The way you stop laughing at things that used to distract you. The way you become focused, sharp, different. And that difference will make them uncomfortable. They will laugh. They will doubt. They will stay the same. Say it again. They will laugh. They will doubt. They will stay the same. Because your growth becomes a mirror. A reflection of everything they refuse to become. And people don't like mirrors that expose their weakness. So they will try to pull you back. Not always with hate, sometimes with jokes. Sometimes with concern. Sometimes with words that sound soft, but carry chains. Relax a little. You've changed. It's not that serious, but you know the truth. It is that serious. Because while they're comfortable, you're at war, and war requires sacrifice. So you lose things. Conversations that no longer make sense. Friendships that no longer align. Moments that once felt alive, now feel empty. And it hurts. Don't pretend it doesn't. It does. Because you're human. Because part of you still remembers what it felt like to belong. But listen carefully. Belonging is not the same as becoming. And you have a choice. Stay where it's comfortable and remain who you've always been. Or walk away and become something more. But you cannot do both. You cannot rise while staying surrounded by everything that keeps you low. You cannot evolve while clinging to a past that demands you stay the same. So yes, you will walk alone, through silence, through doubt, through moments where even you question if it's worth it. But understand this, loneliness is not punishment, it is preparation. It strips away distractions, it removes noise, it forces you to face yourself without escape. And in that silence, you become stronger, clearer, unbreakable. Because when you learn to stand alone, you become someone who cannot be controlled, cannot be influenced, cannot be pulled back. They will laugh, they will doubt, they will stay the same. And you will keep moving, even when no one claps, even when no one understands, even when no one walks beside you. Because this path was never meant for crowds. It was meant for the few who are willing to lose everything to become something. So accept it, embrace it, walk it, alone if you must. Because at the end of this road, you won't need approval, you won't need validation, you won't need anyone to tell you who you are. You will know. And that is power. Now listen closely, because this is where everything changes. Not in theory, not in motivation, not in promise, in identity. You are no longer the person who wastes time. You are no longer the one who negotiates with delay. No longer the one who bows to distraction. No longer the one who survives on intention instead of action. That version of you is gone, buried, finished. And if it still tries to speak, you silence it immediately. Because now there is only one presence left. the one who moves, the one who acts, the one who does not wait for life to give permission. You feel it, don't you? That shift, that quiet collapse of the old self. The procrastinator is no longer in control. The dreamer without action is no longer in control. The comfort seeker is no longer in control. You are, not emotionally, not temporarily, structurally. You have rebuilt yourself from decision, not desire, from discipline, not mood, from execution, not hope. And now you understand something most people never will. Time is not something you chase. Time is something you dominate. You don't manage it like it's fragile. You command it like it belongs to you. Because it does. Every second that passes is not slipping away from you anymore. It is being shaped by you, directed by you, used by you. You stopped reacting to the day and started owning it. You wake up and there is no negotiation, no debate, no emotional bargaining, no maybe later. There is only movement. Because you are not a person who decides based on feeling anymore. You are a force that decides based on direction. Look back for a moment. Not with regret, with recognition. You were broken, fragmented, inconsistent, pulled in every direction by distraction, comfort, hesitation. But that breaking was not the end. It was the removal of everything that couldn't survive discipline. And now, what remains is dangerous, focused, controlled. There is no chaos in you anymore. There is command. When you act fully. When you focus, you disappear into it completely. When you start, you finish. No hesitation, no fragmentation, no excuses dressed as reasoning. You don't ask yourself, can I? You already did. You already are. This is the rise. Not loud, not emotional, controlled. Because real power does not announce itself, it executes. And every action now carries weight. Every decision now builds something. Every hour now serves a purpose. Every moment now has direction. You are no longer scattered across possibilities. You are aligned into one path. Forward. And nothing survives in front of that direction for long. Not laziness, not distraction, not doubt. Because you don't fight them anymore. You outgrow them. Effortlessly. You don't need to force discipline now. You are disciplined. You don't need to remind yourself to act. Action is your default state. And that is what makes you different. Not talent, not luck, not timing, identity. Because once you become the kind of person who does not waste time, time becomes irrelevant to you. It stops being something you fear losing and becomes something you shape. You don't chase hours. You command outcomes. You don't wait for motivation. You generate movement. You don't ask for opportunity. You create pressure until opportunity appears. This is the rise, not into success, into control, into certainty, into a version of you that no longer collapses under distraction, because distraction no longer has access. So stand in it. Fail it fully. The shift is complete. The war is over inside you. And what remains is the one who wins it. No more waiting. I said it once, but I will say it until it burns into your bones. No more waiting. You spent too long standing at the edge of your own life, pretending there was still time to begin. Pretending tomorrow was guaranteed. Pretending your potential wasn't slowly decaying under silence. Listen closely now. There is no hidden moment coming to save you. There is no perfect alignment. No magical version of you that suddenly becomes fearless, disciplined, unstoppable. There is only this moment. And what you do with it decides everything. No more excuses. I have heard them all. I have lived inside them. I have worn them like armor while they quietly turned into chains. I'm tired. I'll start later. It's not the right time. Soft words. Comfortable lies. Designed to keep you exactly where you are. And where you are is not progress. It is repetition. It is delay disguised as planning. It is a slow disappearance of everything you claim you want. No more excuses, because excuses do not protect you. They erase you. No more wasted time. Say it with me, not as hope, but as law. No more wasted time. Time is not forgiving. It does not pause for your potential. It does not wait for your motivation to arrive. It moves relentlessly, indifferently, without care for who is ready and who is not. And while you hesitate, it collects pieces of you, second by second, choice by choice, silence by silence. Let them sleep. Let them scroll. Let them waste their lives chasing distractions that fade the moment they touch them. Let them believe there is always later. I won't. Not anymore. I don't negotiate with delay. I don't bargain with comfort. I don't bow to hesitation dressed as logic. I move, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because that is where everything changes. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more wasted time. Fail that repetition. Let it strip the softness out of your decisions. Let it cut through the noise in your head that keeps telling you just a little longer. There is no longer. There is only now. And now is either the moment you take your life back or the moment you keep losing it. I have made my choice. Let the world drift. Let it hesitate. Let it stay asleep in endless cycles of distraction and regret. I will not. Because I am no longer the one who wastes time. I am the one who commands it. Everything is quiet now. Not because the world stopped, but because I did not. There is a difference. A brutal final difference. You thought time would shape me, smooth me, break me down slowly until I fit into its endless pattern of delay and regret. It tried. It always tries. It whispers. It distracts. It seduces you into believing there will always be another chance. But I stopped listening. Somewhere between the excuses and the collapse they were leading to, I woke up. Not softly, not gently, but completely. And when I did, I saw it clearly. Time was never my ally. It was never my enemy either. It was just moving, unbothered, unforgiving, unstoppable. And I had a choice. Either move with it or be erased by it. So I moved. Not when I felt ready, not when I felt strong, but when I understood that waiting is just another form of surrender. Now look at me. Not as someone who found discipline, but as someone who became it. There is no wasted breath left in me. No hesitation left in my hands. No softness left in my decisions. Only direction, only force, only presence. And if you are still standing where I once stood, still waiting, still postponing your own transformation, then understand this clearly. The distance between who you are and who you could be is not time. It is action. It is choice. It is now. I did not become this by surviving time. I became this by ending my negotiation with it. Time didn't change me. I changed before it could finish me.